You're watching 5 Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final, and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
All right, everybody, welcome into 5 Star Live, Week 8 edition from Strawberry Plains, where Central High School just got finished with a 14-6 win over the Carter Hornets. I'm Jesse Smithy, joined by Central football coach Nick Craney. Nick, it was a tough one to watch. It was a grinded-out game. You guys hadn't played in about 3 weeks, and just your general thoughts, your kind of quick reaction on this game.
Yeah, obviously, glad to come away with the win, but we've got to play better. Mm-hmm. We've got to not have self-inflicted errors that keep us from being successful. And we were able to run the ball fairly well and control the line of scrimmage for the most part. And we would do that and move the ball, and then a penalty or a bad snap or something mental and that cost us just kills drives. And so our focus has got to be being sharp, being disciplined, being crisp in everything we do. So
much has changed for this offense just because of guys getting hurt or whatnot. Will Siway, one of your star wide receivers, gets hurt there near the end of the Powell game. That's 3 weeks ago. What type of adjustments did you guys have to make with your offense going forward without him?
Yeah, he's a big playmaker for us, and we're still down our first and second running back as well. So we're working with running back 3 and 4. Jaden Horton just got cleared Wednesday, and so hopefully in the next week or two he'll be back. But he projected would have been right out there with Will, at receiver, Will and Liam, and so we're down some skill guys for sure. Fortunately, we're starting to get a little healthier, and some of those guys are starting to get back. But yeah, we've definitely had to make some adjustments, and honestly, we just got to find a way to get the players we've got in the best shape to be successful. And I think we did a decent job of that, except for self-inflicted wounds.
We're going to roll highlights here in just a second, but you talked about being down to your number 3 and number 4 tailback, Isaiah Huff. Tell me about him. 18 carries, 113 yards tonight.
Yeah, Isaiah did a great job. Isaiah hasn't practiced running back before this week.
Really?
Since summer.
Wow.
And really, in the summer we kind of narrowed down who the top 3 or 4 were going to be. Mm-hmm. And Isaiah's been starting at Will linebacker for us and done a good job on defense. And so we kind of, back in the summer said, hey, you're going to focus on defense and be a Will linebacker for us and do a good job there, and he's done that. But, being short-numbered, about a week and a half ago we said, all right, we got to get you in the rotation here. And he did a phenomenal job.
But early on, you guys come out and you run Liam Fortner out of the Wildcat. I mean, it's really been a successful thing for you guys all season.
Yeah, it has. He gives us a major lift in the run game. Getting an extra blocker and what he's able to do with the ball in his hands is phenomenal.
Carter comes in. They have a lot of confidence this year. What concerned you? You being a defensive guy, what concerned you about their offense?
Honestly, the things that they did that they had success on were concerning. They move fast, get on the ball quick. We're a defense that likes to get in the right spot and get in the right call. And they limit you some when they go fast. They make you be a little vanilla. But they did a really good job of that. In the passing game, I think we did a decent job in coverage. Again, though, the self-inflicted penalties, we just got a coverage bust for their big, long touchdown pass that they threw. They only scored the game.
I believe this is a touchdown pass from Ryan Bolton here. Take me through this play. It's kind of a pump fake to Liam over there and decoy. And
Yeah, Deontay White did a phenomenal job going up. And really, Liam and that's questionable right there.
Yeah, that's not conclusive evidence whatsoever. I have a bad camera angle, but
it's not. But the game's 7-6 instead of 14-6 if they called it incomplete. And so that was a big fourth down play for us though, and we've been hammering Liam, and so giving the fake and going over the top was a good play for us.
Connor Williamson, he's been making interceptions all year for you guys.
He does a phenomenal job. He's such a great kid too.
So that was another opportunity kind of squandered for Carter. They drive down there into the red zone. Y'all come up with an interception. They miss field goals. I mean, they had their chances. Y'all's defense just came up big.
Yeah, and we did a good job. DJ Johnson did a great. He blocked an extra point and a field goal.
Yeah.
That can sometimes make the difference in the game. So I can't say enough about the job he's done. Stepping into that role at free safety, and he's done a really good job. He had the bust in coverage on the one touchdown, but he's done a really good job being consistent all year for us.
You've talked a little bit about this already tonight, man. I always ask you this when you're on the set, but going forward, we're in October now, just 3 weeks left in the season, weeks 9, 10, and 11. Yeah. You've talked about the self-inflicted wounds, but offensively, how do you get that pop back? How do you get that rhythm back to where it's kind of flowing freely?
We've got to be able to complete some passes, get that mid-range passing game going, and we've struggled a little bit there. But part of that is personnel and being down some skill guys. So hopefully being pretty close to full health and having everybody back in the next week or so will really help in that factor. And not stopping ourselves because I think tonight we have great flow and momentum if you take away the penalties and the mistakes.
Yeah. One of the highlights you didn't see there was Greg Moore. I know him, and people around Knoxville may know him for his success on the basketball court. Yeah. One of the better shooting guards in the area / point guards. And you guys had a big third down there. You're trying to run out the clock. You put your faith in a basketball player out there, and he went up and got a big catch. Yeah. Tell me about his contribution and him joining the team and contributing.
Yeah, Greg decided to play this first year. I've been trying to talk him into it for 4 years, but just decided to play and has done a great job for us working, and hasn't had a ton of reps and a ton of pass attempts thrown his way, but he's made the most of the ones that he has, and this was a huge one for us. Yeah. And we told him on from the basketball court, we said, man, just take the same aggressiveness you use in basketball, because he'll drive to the hole and take he's an aggressive basketball player, and so our thing that we've been telling him is, hey, take that same mindset to go get the ball when it's in the air.
Yeah, well, he definitely went up and got it, and that was a pivotal play there late in the game. Helped them secure that win, 14-6. Nick, as always, congratulations, fist bump you, and
appreciate you, Jesse.
Caleb, yeah, we'll get Caleb Fortner in here. We are always joined by the Fortner twins after a Central win, it seems like. So, joined by Caleb Fortner, star linebacker, and man, we're not seeing you as much on offense nowadays. It seems like some more guys are kind of contributing on offense. You can kind of focus on your defense.
Yes, sir. That's why I was able to preserve my body for 4 quarters instead of 2 this Friday.
Coming out of a 3-week break, I mean, what's this been like for you? It's been kind of a crazy season. Your senior season. Did you feel like there would be some rust coming out of a 3-week break?
After playing a great opponent like Powell, I didn't think there should be any rust whatsoever. We should bounce back and fix those little things that we made mistakes on on that Saturday. So, but as you can see, we still got a lot of work to do, and just got to keep moving on.
One of y'all's best players comes back soon.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, Jaden Horton, who was an all-state defensive back last year, was probably going to help out at wide receiver, maybe some Wildcat quarterback this year. He broke his collarbone right there before the season. Just how excited is really not yourself, but just the locker room to get that guy back?
Oh, we're extremely excited. We saw him strap up for warm-ups today, and just seeing him in pads and a helmet, we're extremely thankful to have him back, and we're excited to see what he does.
Going forward and looking at what you guys have the rest of the way, and maybe even thinking back last year when you weren't playing your best football at the end of 2019, you still were able to make a postseason run and win a state championship.
Yes, sir.
How much can you draw back on that experience?
To this year?
Yeah. I mean, just for this year and saying, hey, just because we're not playing our best right now doesn't mean we still can't piece it together.
Right. Just got to go day by day, hold each other accountable, and make sure we're doing the little things right in order for us to do what we did last year. Like you said, we fell short 2 games at the very end, but we brought it together, and we didn't want to go out that way. So we just got to keep that thought process and keep moving forward and get better every single week.
Kevin Smith, my co-host, he's a defensive coordinator. He's been a defensive coordinator his whole coaching career. He noticed you were kind of manning the middle of the field tonight. Normally we're used to seeing you kind of out on the corner. Just was that just because of the opponent or why?
Well, if I'm in the middle of the field, they can't run away from me. So I've noticed with a lot of teams we've previously played that they like to run opposite of where I'm at when I'm at outside linebacker. And being at middle, I feel like I can see things that's going on in front of me and be able to beat them to holes and to spots on the field. So I'm really enjoying playing middle, but my spot's outside linebacker.
All right. Well, we saw you come up with a big sack there,
Yes,
stopping them on a third down. And so just congratulations on the win tonight. I'll give you a fist bump.
Thank you,
Happy
Jesse.
birthday. Y'all had a good birthday
Yes,
the
sir.
other day?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Are y'all 18 now?
That's right.
Okay, 18 now. So
Yes, sir.
are you older or are you younger?
I'm older.
Okay.
About 17 minutes.
17 minutes. All right. Well, let's
with being 18, I can't keep beating up these kids out here. I might go to jail.
Yeah. All right, let's get your younger brother
Hey,
up
thank you,
here.
Jesse.
Yeah, congratulations. We'll be joined by Liam Fortner here just shortly. So, man, how are you?
Oh, I'm a little banged up.
Yo, can you celebrate your birthday properly during the game week, or do you have to wait till the weekend?
Oh, we have to wait till the weekend. We can't go all wild before a game on Friday.
Yeah.
So you just wait for a weekend.
Tonight, you come out early. Y'all have some offensive success there with you running the ball. Y'all really succeeded in that Wildcat package, and just tell me about how that's kind of developed and gone for you this season.
Yes, sir. Well, our first drive, it didn't look so rusty after missing 2.5 weeks, but I'm really developing as a. I would say I'm not gonna say QB because I'm not throwing it, but I'm developing as a running. I wouldn't say running back either, but just running out of the Wildcat. My vision's getting clear, and I'm just a hardened runner, and I'm a big guy, so it's hard for those linebackers and DBs to tackle me. So I'm loving it.
Tonight, y'all really leaned on that package, though. You're out there for a lot of offensive snaps. You're out there for a lot of defensive snaps.
Yes, sir.
I think I asked you this earlier in the season, but how is your body holding up with all the high demands? I know y'all are coming off of a break, and that probably helped, but that can be taxing on you.
Yes, sir. I wish our fall break was still a fall break, and we didn't schedule that Halls game Thursday. But it's a good rivalry. All these plays are taking a toll on my body. I got banged up tonight, like I said. You got two thigh bruises, but I'm still a machine. I'll be out there next Thursday.
All right. We're starting to see, you guys get healthy again. Even though you lost Will Syway, you get Jaden Horton back.
Yes, sir.
And to have another guy out there like yourself who's able to catch passes, what are we going to see out of him as a receiver? We're more accustomed to him as a defensive back.
Yes, sir. Right. It's awesome having him back because he'll be able to compliment me on the other side and just hopefully open up our passing game, deeper passing game. I'm kind of tired of running these screens and whatnot, but it's just great having him back. Not only as an offensive player, as a defensive player. I'm not sure how his reps will look on defense, but I'm just excited to have him back.
When we were talking with Coach Craney, he was talking about y'all being down to your third and fourth tailback. Isaiah Huff is a kid who ran 18 times, I think 113 yards tonight. Just what did you see out there with him, performing with him? He ran hard tonight.
Yes, sir, he did. I was so surprised and shocked and just ultimately proud of the guy. He didn't run like that at practice, but come game time, he's all ready and fired up. So he deserves a celebration tonight.
So he's a gamer then.
Yes, sir. He's a ball player is what he is. Believe it or not, he played guard last year for our state championship team.
He played guard.
He played guard,
like starting guard.
Like starting guard on our state championship team.
Wow, I didn't. It just goes to show you. You watch the ball and you watch the skill guys. Sometimes you don't always pay attention to what's going on up front. That's amazing because he's not a big guy.
No, he's not a big guy at all. Last year he was weighing at like 150, blocking these guys 250, 260, sometimes 300.
That's crazy.
It's impressive.
All right, so what are we doing for the birthday this weekend?
This weekend, it's confidential.
Okay.
I'm 18, No, I'm kidding. I think I'll just be resting up, icing up, just getting ready for our game against Halls.
All right. Well, man, thanks a lot for sticking around, hanging out with us. I know y'all want to get back and get iced up and all that stuff. So, man, congratulations on the win. Good to see you as always. Liam Fortner from Central High School as they win 14-6 against Carter tonight. Hey, we always do a trivia question on 5 Star Live. Tonight, we got another one. We're going to give away a gift card to Waffle House. You a big Waffle House guy?
Actually, I'm not. I'm more of a Cracker Barrel guy.
You're a Waffle House guy tonight because they're our sponsor for this. And so our trivia question tonight.
Waffle House presents East Tennessee High School Trivia. If you know the answer to the question, tweet it and use the hashtag 5StarLive, and you could win a gift certificate from Waffle House. Tonight's trivia question is, what university hosted the state championship football games prior to the move to Tennessee Tech in 2009? Know the answer? Tweet it and use the hashtags 5StarLive, and we will randomly select the winner from those with correct answers. Thanks for playing Trivia with 5 Star Live and Waffle House.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0183.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Welcome back into 5 Star Live, where Central has defeated Carter High School 14-6 tonight. Really tough ball game. Central, of course, coming off of a 3-week break. Carter comes in with a lot of confidence. They came in with a 5-2 record, looking to upset Central and get back into the chase for one of those prime seeds in Region 2-5A. But Central able to make the plays tonight. Got some fortuitous calls there, and then we'll talk about that here in a second. But Kevin Smith joins me up on set. Kevin Smith, longtime defensive coordinator in Tennessee. That's why I like you. Break down X's and O's. We're going to roll Jared, let's go ahead and roll the footage tonight. And Kevin, Central came in. We saw them a few times earlier this season. They're still looking for something offensively, though.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see the injuries pile up and making it even more difficult to get a rhythm offensively. They did a good job coming right out of the gate and punching it down the throat of Carter on offense. And really behind this guy, Liam Fortner, did a good job running the football from the running back position, the wildcat position, and then catching the ball, as you saw there. But this was a very flat performance by Central tonight,
yes.
and not a lot of you could tell they've had a couple weeks off.
Yeah, so Liam gets into the end zone there, and we see Carter really have some opportunities in the first half. They block a punt there from Ryan Bolton. They can't take advantage of it. Central will turn the football over here. The receiver falls down, easy interception for Carter. They get down there again, and they finally punch it in and take advantage. But really, for the most part tonight, well, they don't take advantage. They get a blocked field goal.
Well, here's the funny part about this first half, Jesse. Carter did not get a first down until 1:33 left in the first half. Central was absolutely dominating them defensively, and yet they had a chance to tie the football game, missed the extra, scored a touchdown late in the first half, missed the extra point. And you got to think to yourself, if you're Carter, we've played terrible up to this point,
right,
and we're still in this football game.
So at this point, it's 7-6. Ryan Bolton has struggled a little bit. He fakes an out to Liam Fortner, finds Deontay White deep, and it's a questionable touchdown.
Yeah, I was questioning this from the very get-go. This is a great punch-out right here by the defensive back. and getting the ball loose. It's a bang-bang play. We obviously never want to, try to call out officials, but, man, I have a real hard time as a defensive coach not telling my kid what a great job of knocking that ball out and saving a touchdown.
Carter again on the move, trying to answer. They get inside the red zone, and the Central defense just came up with an interception there from Connor Williamson. He's got a lot of interceptions this year as a defensive back, really having a nice season. And Central's defense just made the plays they need to make.
Yeah, that was one of the best interceptions I've seen in a long time. It was an incredible catch live, and then you saw right there that Mr. Fortner, man, coming off the edge is dangerous. I was shocked that the quarterback even got up from that hit. But when Carter goes and watches film about this, Jesse, in the game, they're going to be sick to their stomach. They did a great job coming out, getting the ball first, down 7-6. They got the first possession of the second half, drove all the way down the field, had an opportunity to go in for 6, ended up going for the field goal instead of on 4th and 5 at the 5, got it blocked. Central goes all the way down the field and scores a touchdown and makes it 14-6.
So that sack by Fortner, that was a third down, and it forced a punt. Carter gets another opportunity. They had an incompletion in the end zone, and there's the catch by Greg Moore, the basketball player. We talked with Nick Craney about that, and that guy right there ran hard tonight. Isaiah Huff was an offensive guard last year. I didn't even know that, and until Liam Fortner told us that in the last segment. He's not a big guy, 150, 160 pounds, third-team running back. He ran hard tonight. Yeah,
I was impressed with just his presence on the field and doing a good job of churning out tough yards. Again, a flat performance offensively by Central. This is an opportunity. Carter's going to kick themselves. You talk about this is the second half possessions for Carter. Had a blocked field goal on the 5-yard line. They threw an interception in the end zone again with an opportunity to score. Then they had a ball inside the 30 and turnover on downs after a muffed punt by Central. This was one of those games, if you're Carter, you're going to be kicking yourself because this was the opportunity to pull the upset with a flat performance by Central. But let me say this, and I said this to the Fortner twins off air. Every win's a good win. There's no such thing as a bad win. It is hard to win in this world, and especially in the game of football, and that's what you see out of a champion. Even when you're flat, even when you're having a bad night offensively, even when everything's not clicking and you've had turnovers, you find a way to win the football game, and that's what we saw tonight by Central.
And let's remember, Central struggled late in the 2019 season, lost their last 2 games of the regular season. Everybody counted them out. Everybody was talking about Powell and West, maybe South Doyle. Central makes a run and wins the state championship. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but that's the good vibes that Central can draw back on. There's still a lot of players on this roster from that team a year ago. They get Jaden Horton back next week. We'll see kind of what that does with the passing game. Probably going to free Liam Fortner up a little bit. He's probably not going to feel like the burden is on him so much.
Well, and I think 2 defenses are going to have to pay attention now, okay? So they can't roll their covers to Liam. I'll tell you what I like, though, again, off camera with the Fortner twins. These guys have a pulse of this team. They said they're going to have some spirited practices next week. It's time for some guys to grow up or they're going to be home early in the playoffs. These guys know what it's at stake. Again, the sign of a champion. Really impressed with their maturity there off air. And I think we'll see, again, a Central team. They can run the football. They can play defense. If they can correct some things, get some guys healthy. Again, they're down to their 3rd and 4th running back. This is a team that's going to be hard to beat in the playoffs because they can run the ball and they can play defense. And if they can eliminate the turnovers and get a little bit more of a passing game, this is a dangerous football team.
Yeah, everybody feeds off the Fortner twins in the Central locker room. It's been that way for a little over 2 years now, especially now that Liam has come into his own as one of the better players on the team and a leader. So will be interesting to see how Central does going forward. Remember, they've rescheduled that game against Halls. Halls putting up a good fight tonight. They hadn't played in a month. They've put up a good fight tonight against South Doyle. We'll see some highlights of that game coming up here in just a minute. Kevin, let's go ahead and start to look around the area a little bit. And tonight there's a big game out at Farragut High School. And Jared, if we have those, we can start rolling the footage of Farragut Dobyns-Bennett. Everybody up in Upper East Tennessee talking about how Dobyns-Bennett is the real deal this year. Farragut comes out. It's a nice score there to get on the board, but it's a Dobyns-Bennett team that just kind of beat Farragut into submission tonight.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing about the history of Dobyns-Bennett, and I'm not trying to rain on their parade, but I feel like there's been a lot of years that you see them as 10-0 in the regular season, right, and then they're a disappointment in the playoffs. And I would love to see this team. This is a team that a lot of people know about. It's a storied traditional program. Would love to see them have some more success in the postseason, and maybe this is the team to do it.
And I said on the radio earlier today with John and Jimmy on Sports Talk that Dobyns-Bennett has 2 opportunities to put fear in the rest of the state. This game right here against Farragut, they win tonight 56-35. They improved to 7-0 overall. Dobyns-Bennett 350 yards rushing, 537 yards of total offense. This game right here was a statement game for Dobyns-Bennett, and then week 11, Alcoa comes to visit.
Yeah, and I think what you see here in the highlights, and then you saw from the stats, this is a football team that can throw the ball and run the ball, and that's what we've been saying. Do you have a combination that you can go to when one's not working, or where a defense just feels helpless? And you saw that tonight against Farragut. They had both the passing game and the running game working. I'll be very interested to see them against that Alcoa football team. It'll be tough sledding running the ball against them. Can that passing game lead them to victory over a very stingy Alcoa defense?
The good thing for Farragut, though, is that they kept coming. They kept coming. They kept fighting. They put up their own offense tonight. That's the good thing for them. They're going to have to correct some things defensively. You can't give up 56 points.
No, you can't. And I think sometimes when you throw the ball as much as you do, you kind of keep your defense on the field. So I think that's a little bit of a give and take that you got to figure out as a football team. But I'll tell you what else I like about this Dobyns-Bennett-Alcoa matchup coming up, Jesse. First of all, it gives a barometer to your players and your coaches getting ready to go into the playoffs. Where are we at this point in time of the season? It can help show you some deficiencies that you can correct right before the playoffs start. And it's a good playoff type atmosphere to get ready for that push in the playoffs. So that's actually a really good game. I like that the coaches put that together because I think it will help both programs going forward with that playoff atmosphere.
It's going to help Alcoa. I mean, they really haven't had a stern test since Maryville, and they're not going to get that stern test out of their region play this year. Austin East is down a little bit. Gatlinburg-Pittman down a little bit. So where they are with their quarterback situation, we're going to know a lot about in that Dobyns-Bennett game, and they've been playing a little bit more. Cam Burden back there with Zach Lunsford, and seeing both of those guys at the quarterback position. So that'll be a big test for Alcoa.
Every coach would tell you it is almost impossible to find out your weaknesses against your scout team. Okay, it just is. And half the time, some of these programs don't even have a scout team. All right. So for that type of game for both programs, kudos to them putting that together because I think it's going to help both of them know exactly what they got to work on to get ready for that push for both of them are hoping for a long playoff run.
One of the games of the night, South Doyle at Halls, going up to Halls High School, where they haven't played since September 4th, I believe. It's been over a month since Halls High School has played a game. They were down 14-0 at the half. Final score tonight, South Doyle 21, Halls 14. They came back and made it a game.
Yeah, and we were kind of shocked at the score at first, and then you saw Halls come back. First and foremost, I'm glad to see Central play tonight. Glad to see Halls play tonight. It is good to see these young men getting back on the field and getting an opportunity to play the game they love, and let's get them through the playoffs.
There's our guy, Sean Gary. We really got to see him a couple weeks ago against Sevier County. Making plays tonight. Quarterback Nick Martin getting out, stretching out his arm a little bit as well, and South Doyle able to get their offense going. What Sean Gary provided to that offense really opened it up a little bit.
This is a good sign. If South Doyle can throw the football, because look, we've seen this young man. This guy runs so hard. He carries guys. This is what he does every week, and he has breakaway speed. If they can throw the football consistently, they've got a chance to really be a dangerous football team and make 5A even harder. I mean, we're talking about second-round playoff games, Jesse, in 5A. That could be dynamite football games.
Yeah, 5A has been super loaded the last really 3 or 4 years since this classification cycle happened. And Halls, though, you got to give it to them and Scott Cummings, and not really knowing what to expect after a month-long break and coming back and keeping that guy under wraps in the second half and getting back in it.
Yeah, I think it's a great job of the coaching staff and keeping these kids in it. And look, they still got a long way to go. I mean, this is a football team that's got a chance here to get going here towards the end of the year. But great showing tonight. Again, it's been a tough road for them. But I'm telling you right now, Jesse, this South Doyle team, if they can throw the ball just enough, this is a very dangerous football team with the way they can play defense.
That guy's got to stay healthy. Number 21, Sean Gary, very special player. In just a matter of weeks, he's ended up being one of our top stat leaders in rushing yards. And remember, he basically didn't even get to accrue stats the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, and that's what I was about to say. I mean, you took it almost around. Because of no preseason, because of no scrimmages, They just found this guy 3-4 weeks ago. And what a testament to that staff, first and foremost, because, dude, sometimes you can just get stuck on one or two players. They really went back and really focused and looked and watched film and got guys more reps in practice, and they finally found their guy, and he has proven himself each and every week.
Yeah, I keep looking at my phone because South Doyle's really good at sending stats after the game, and I wanted to see what his stats were for tonight, but we're still waiting on those stats. The big game last night, everybody was talking about really for the whole season, West High School hosting Powell in a key Region 3 5A game, and it totally lived up to the billing last night. West comes away with the win, 39-27. We come into this game and everybody's talking about Powell's offense. Everybody's talking about West's defense. We got to see a little bit of both of those elements from both teams. But for last night, West just really controlled the game from about the midpoint of the first half on.
Yeah, I think here's what we learned last night. And this is when you're talking about playoff weather and playoff atmospheres. First and foremost, you can't turn the ball over. Number one, you can't beat yourself. But number two, you got to be able to run the football. And if you're Powell, we got to see more of the big boy at running back, because we got to have a threat of the run in order to continue that pass game going. And this West defense is the real deal. They have the ability to play man coverage and drop players underneath. They have the ability to play 0 and bring 7 and get after your quarterback. They have the ability to play zone and drop 8. This is a defense that's going to give them problems. And you saw the D-line last night with, 5, 6, 7 sacks. They were giving Jordan Potts all kind of trouble. You got to be able to run the football just enough to keep them honest. I'd like to see more of that guy, number 7 there, getting a look.
Jordan Brown, he's a guy that I really was impressed with last year. He averaged about 9 or 10 yards per carry. They were, using him a lot at running back. He ran effectively early on in the game, but Powell still threw for over 350 yards, and Jordan Potts had 3 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions, and that guy right there, Isaiah Mattress, hadn't really played in a couple of weeks, been banged up, some ankle issues, and even early in that game, he ripped one down the sideline, and he just didn't have that same breakaway speed, but he played all night long. That's what's most important, and he was productive all night long.
Yeah, and you saw West defensive line and offensive line both were really physical last night. And again, and we talked about you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to stop the run. All right, if you can't stop the run, people are going to be able to keep it away from your explosive offense. I thought Powell did a great job of hanging in there and making a comeback. But this is something that they both can learn from this football game. But West is stingy, man. They showed, and they put their name on the map for everybody to understand. You're going to go through West this year if you want to get to the state championship.
I always ask you to put your defensive coordinator hat on, so I'm going to ask you this question, and we talked a little bit about it during the game. Darius Redmond, a sophomore wide receiver for Powell, he has offers from Tennessee and blah, blah, blah. He just, one of the top players in the class of 2023. Last night, he's not able to go. If you're a defensive coordinator and you notice their big-time receivers not out there, it's got to make it easier to defend. I mean, even though Powell's 4 or 5 wide receivers deep in that group, when their top guy's not out there, it makes you feel a little bit better about your chances.
Well, I think a couple things happen. Number one, you're not rolling coverage to him and taking a guy away from somebody else who's a very good player. So sometimes you're trying to eliminate half the field, or you're trying to eliminate one player. You add an extra player to take him out, or to take him away from the offense. And I think for Powell, that hurt him a little bit. But at the end of the day, Jesse, they've got so many weapons. They've got to be able to make West be honest with them. And West last night got to the point where they knew they weren't running the football and were able to drop 8. Then the next play bring 6. Then the next play bring 4 or 5. Play zone, play man. West was really able to do a lot of different things last night, and they're athletic enough in the back to be able to do those things. And, man, it's really hard, Jesse, when you play man coverage and you're able to drop guys underneath and still get pressure with 4. And you can say every college, all these guys, if they can get pressure with 4 guys, you're in business. And Mr. Potts was running all over the place last night, scrambling. And what happens when you scramble, Jesse?
You sometimes make mistakes.
Well, you make mistakes. You absolutely make mistakes, but it also cuts down half the field. So now you can't sit there and go through progressions or find other receivers. You only have half a field to work with, or you're throwing it across your body, and you're going to get interceptions like we saw last night.
Yeah, late there in the game, Jordan was trying to get a shovel pass off, and just miscommunication there. Aiden Green wasn't ready, or something. The ball kind of went awry, and Ethan was able to pick it off and get into the end zone for West High School. So we're going to talk with.
But I was going to say, hey, I'm so excited about 5A. Like I'm telling you, South Doyle's got a chance to be great. Central has a chance to get their mind right and get back in this thing. Powell's got a great football team. Don't take anything away last night. We're just, we're the ones talking about it. They got a good football team. They're going to figure some things out. They got some young players in some key spots. But West has proven now, if they can keep their head in it and not read too many of the press clippings and get a little too big for
they
the
want to
britches.
read my press clippings because I picked them to lose.
Oh, there you go. Well, they're still mad at you. But if they don't read the press clippings, they have proven now that they're the team to beat. And they can run the football, they can stop the run, and they've got a lot. They can do a lot of different things defensively. This is a really good football team, and I'm excited about 5A football in Knoxville.
And everybody's going to talk about what happened in 2019. Powell won the regular season. West won in the playoffs. So Powell's going to say, okay, we can do the same thing that they did to us and do it to them. We'll probably see a little bit different game plan, I would imagine, if they are able to reconvene in the playoffs in the state quarterfinals. So that's still a ways away. But we're going to talk with West football coach Lamar Brown on the Waffle House hotline. Coming up right after the break, we're going to break that game down even more in just a few minutes.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5-star preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
It's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus and not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
Welcome back into 5-Star Live. We go right to our Waffle House hotline where we are joined by Lamar Brown, head football coach at West High School. They win last night on Thursday, Rivalry Thursday, 39-27. West improves to 8-0 on the season. And, Coach, thanks so much for joining me on your night off. What'd you do on your night off?
Oh, I stayed at home, Jesse. Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of rest really tonight. So just trying to hang out with the family.
Do you take a football break? Do you watch any film? Watch any games going on in the area, or you just get away from it?
Well, if we was playing a game next week, I'd have probably went and watched that opponent play. Yeah. But we're on the open week, so it was a good chance to just stay at home and spend some time with the family. You don't get those times very often.
Did you try at all to fill that week, that open week?
Now, what'd you say?
Did you try at all to fill that open week next week?
No. I made my decision early on, unless something crazy happened, that if we made it this far, we was going to need that open week. Mm-hmm. And the only game that we had canceled was the Bearden game, week 1. So we have played 7 straight ball games, and
try to get Lamar back here in just a second. Lamar,
yeah.
talk. Yep, you there? Lamar, you there?
I am. I can barely hear you, though.
Okay, well, we just lost you there for a minute. You were talking about how y'all played so many ball games in a row.
Yes. We played 7 ball games in a row. We're really banged up. It's a good time for the open week.
Yeah, speaking of banged up, I mean, Isaiah Mattress is a guy who's fought injuries, and last night, early in the game, he's ripping a run down the visiting sidelines there, and you could just tell that he was kind of hobbling a little bit. He was trying to get everything out of his body, but that breakaway speed that we're accustomed to wasn't there. But he really showed a lot of heart last night and ran for over 100 yards.
He did. Isaiah's a tough kid. He's been battling some hamstring issues, and only way to get those better is rest and time off. And he's had a little bit. He's probably around 85%. But he had a really good night last night. Had a couple of touchdowns, I believe, over 100 yards rushing. Had a couple of big third down conversion runs for us to keep drives alive.
Yeah, he sent me a little playful message, just let me know that I picked wrong last night, picking Powell to win that football game, and I told him, I said, look, man, I didn't know what your health status was going to be, and he's been such a leader and a key component for West High School through the last 2 or 3 years that when he's out there, what kind of energy or what kind of excitement does that bring and leadership does that bring?
Well, we're always better when Isaiah Mattress is on the field. But we also have 3 other really good backs that can play. We haven't had that guy that's put up really big numbers this year, but we've got 4 backs that's over 300 yards rushing, and Trayvon Barfield's kind of come on. He's a sophomore that a lot of people hadn't heard of. Jai Hunley played a lot last year as a freshman. And we've had another sophomore, Braden Latham, that has really came on and gives us that 4th back.
Trayvon is a guy that you told us about and your staff told us about during the preseason, in the short preseason that we had. And every single week it seems like he's getting more and more comfortable out there, maybe more confident out there, and he had a big touchdown run last night. You guys outrushed Powell, 307-8 yards last night. I want to talk about your defense and just the impact that they made in that football game last night.
Well, defensively, we've been playing really well. When they, for whatever reason, they decided to just abandon the run at halftime. I don't know if they ran the ball one time in the second half.
Yeah, I couldn't remember one.
But once a team becomes one-dimensional, it allows you to do some things on defense that you wouldn't usually do. Mm-hmm. And we was able to bring some extra pressure at times. We was able to play more man at times. We was able to play man with some help over the top. So we was able to do some things once we figured out in the second half, hey, they're not going to run it. Matter of fact, I think most of the half they was in an empty set with 5 wides and threw it every down. But when you have those type of athletes on the field, we knew they was going to make plays because Potts is too good. His cast of wide receivers, that they're really athletic and good football players. But we really believed that we was going to be able to make some plays on defense. And I think we had 8 to 10 sacks. I know Andrew Gilbert had 5, 3 picks. So we was able to make plays, keep us in the ball game, and get drives stopped.
We were talking in the last segment that Powell's going to take on the same mindset that maybe West High School had last year when you guys lost the regular season game and the kind of de facto region championship, but you were able to get revenge in the playoffs. So with that in mind and knowing that you guys will probably be the hunted, so to speak, how do you get your guys to say, okay, let's enjoy this win, but let's move on now. We still got work to do.
Well, I think our kids are tough, mentally tough kids right now. I think we've been the hunted. I know a lot of people in Knoxville didn't think we was going to beat Powell, but we have been the number 1 ranked team in the state for, I think, the past 3 weeks. So we've had a target on our back, and teams knew we was going to be pretty good coming into this year. So I've been really proud the way our kids have handled that. But, we can't sit around and think about a 3rd-round playoff game. I mean, there's too much football to be played. We still got 2 regular season games we got to get through, and then once it comes to playoffs, 5A is it's so even right now that if you don't play every Friday night, you've got a chance to get beat. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams in 5A. So that's a long road, but until we could get back to them.
Hey, Lamar, before I let you go, and last question here, sing the praises of your quarterback, Baker Dance, because there's so many great players on that team. I think sometimes he lives in the shadows a little bit, but each and every year he gets better. And now when I'm on the sidelines at games, people ask me, hey, is that kid going anywhere to play college ball? Or I like that quarterback. He's really turned into a nice player.
Yeah, I think there's two kids on their team that don't get enough credit. One is Baker Dance, and the other one is Jack Eccleston. Jack plays linebacker for us, starts at linebacker, starts at tight end for us, heavily involved in the run game and passing game on offense. But Baker is so even keel. He don't get too high. He doesn't get too low. First play of the game, we have an interception. Ethan Scott gets a pick, and then first play we turn right around and throw it right back to him. And Baker's as calm as he can be on the sideline. He's been in the battles. He knows our offense inside and out. He's had some good passing games, but Baker's really happy with his performance last night. He tries to tell everybody he's a running quarterback, and I think he had 60 yards rushing last night. So he's really proud of that.
Would that do double his production for the year?
Maybe tripled it, I think.
Well, Lamar, thank you so much for staying up tonight and joining us on the show, and congratulations on that win, and I'm sure we'll see you guys down the road in the regular season or in the playoffs.
Okay, thank you, Jesse.
Yep, that's Lamar Brown, head football coach at West High School. They won last night 39-27 over Powell. 8-0 on the season now, number one team in the state in 5A, and certainly going to be moving up the rankings on 5starpreps.com. All right, we're going to catch our final break. When we come back, we're going to announce our trivia question winner. We're going to take a look around at some more scores, so don't go anywhere on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5 Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
It's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus and not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
Welcome back into 5 Star Live from Carter High School out here in Strawberry Plains. Again, Central wins tonight 14-6. Hey, let's get to our trivia question tonight. Our trivia question, and it's sponsored by Waffle House. They're going to give us a $20 gift card to Waffle House to our winner tonight. And the question was, what city hosted the Blue Cross Bowls before Cookeville? You got an answer?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, MTSU.
Yeah, Murfreesboro. Yeah. MTSU was the university of the city that hosted the Blue Cross Bowl before Cookeville. Our winner tonight, Yari Potts. Is it Yari? I'm sorry, I haven't met you. I know who you are, but congratulations. You're the winner. I'm sorry if I botched your name. Yari Potts is our winner tonight. She gets the answer. It's Murfreesboro. Would you Would you like to see it back in Murfreesboro? I know I would.
I was just about to say, I'd like to give a plug for Nashville and Vanderbilt to step up to the plate and make it happen and get the state championship games back in Middle Tennessee, like real Middle Tennessee, like in Nashville for all the schools.
OG Middle Tennessee.
That's right.
When I was in high school in the mid to late 90s, all the Blue Cross Bowls, or the Clinic Bowls as they were back then, were at Vanderbilt. And it means something more. And look, Cookeville's been great. They've been nothing but gracious when we're there, for the media, for the teams. But when you're going to an SEC stadium or a big city like Nashville, it feels big. It makes you feel like you're a part of something just grand.
Absolutely. Look, Jesse, I remember my senior year of high school, we were undefeated playing in the quarterfinals, and our coach, they knew at Brentwood High School we couldn't hold as many fans that wanted to come to the Hendersonville-Brentwood High School football game, so they moved it to Vanderbilt. We got to play in Vanderbilt for the quarterfinals of playoffs, and I'll never forget it. And yet we're not playing the state championship games there? It's unbelievable.
I'd settle for MTSU. I liked it at MTSU. That city and that university has grown tremendously. It's massive now. One of the state's biggest in terms of total enrollment. There's proper lodging, hotels, food, just everything there. Cookeville's getting better, but still, I like that feeling when you go into a big stadium and it just gives it more merit.
Absolutely, and then nothing against Cookeville. They have done a great job, and MTSU did a great job. But again, let's go to Middle Tennessee. Nashville would be much better for the Memphis teams coming in. East Tennessee, everybody can come into a central location and love to be in a bigger stadium, and you never forget those type of games.
Earlier in the show, we were wondering what Sean Gary did, the running back from South Doyle. He ran for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight in that 21-14 win. Let's take a look around the area real quick tonight. Claiborne bounces back from their first loss of the year. They win 48-0 against Cosby. Farragut, we told you about, loses 56-35 against Dobbins Bennett. If you miss highlights from that, rewind the show here on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you're watching. You can catch those highlights. Bearden rallies against Jefferson County. They trailed all night long, 33-24. They needed that win in a major way.
You said it. They had to have that game.
Farragut next week. They could not afford to lose this game.
No, they needed that game, and this is a Jefferson County team that's been struggling all year. You cannot lose that football game, and you got to get yourself going, especially before Farragut comes in.
Science Hill wins tonight, 28-14 at Morristown West. Greenville 5-2 now. Remember, they struggled out of the gates, having to play a lot of freshmen out there, but they win 41-7 tonight over Sullivan South. Catholic cruise tonight, 44-21 over West Green. West Green gets some kind of garbage time scores there. Central High School, of course, wins 14-6. Gibbs 3-5 now, 49-14. Gibbs is putting up like passing records every week now. This is a triple option traditional team, and now they're just like 350, 400 every week. It's so crazy.
It's hard for people to say. I mean, we've kind of talked about Carter as much as they throw the football. Yeah. It's just, I think what's great is coaches are starting to figure out their personnel and what's best to give their kids the best chance to win. And we talked about it last week with Rusty Bradley and Grace. Their best chance to win is to spread it out and throw the football and then turn around and hand it to the big daddy and let him run down the field once they've loosened up the defense with their passing game.
You mentioned Rusty Bradley, so let's go ahead and segue into that. Grace Christian loses their first game tonight. They dropped their record to 7-1, and they were able to cut it to 4 with about a minute and a half left, go for onside kick. Chattanooga Christian recovers. They run it back for a touchdown. That's just a punch to the gut.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker, and that region is starting to get really crowded, Jesse, and there's some good football teams there, and they're all kind of pretty packed and almost kind of the same talent-wise. So I think we're going to have some really interesting and close ball games to end the year, and I think the playoffs are going to be very interesting in that division. But this is a Grace team. If they can play a little bit more defense, they can score on anybody.
And we've seen them play good defense before, so I wonder – I mean, maybe they had – I know they've had a couple of guys get hurt, and it's not a deep team, so I wonder if maybe that came into play. But selfishly, I wanted Grace Christian and CAK to play here in a couple of weeks, both undefeated. We're not going to get to see that, though.
Yeah, it'll still be a great game, though, and really, to be honest, it still could come down to whoever wins that game wins the region.
South Doyle wins tonight. I mentioned that 21-14. Meigs County knocks off South Pittsburgh. South Pittsburgh was the number 1 team in the state in 1A. Meigs County, the number 2 team in 2A. They win tonight 28-21. Kings Academy goes on the road, gets a little bit of revenge from a loss last year. They win at Oneida 42-19. Oneida sitting at 4-3 right now. I still think they're going to be in the mix in 2A a little bit.
I do too, and we've talked about it. 1, they know how to play defense, and 2, they've got a really good running back, and they can pound the football. This is a very good win for Kings Academy. If we're looking at this for their confidence, and they started off well, had a little hiccup there against Friendship Christian. This is a very athletic football team. We've talked a lot about sophomore quarterbacks and people playing 2 quarterbacks. We've somewhat kind of left out that Kings Academy has a little bit of a quarterback battle going on and a 2-quarterback system. This young man, Garrett Weekly, a sophomore, has come in and really given them a lift in football games, shown some very good athletic ability, and he starts at safety. I mean, the guy picks passes off left and right. It's a very good tackler. This is an opportunity for another sophomore. We've talked about the young quarterback play in Knoxville. There are so many good young quarterbacks. This is going to be exciting for a couple of years to see all these guys grow and mature and go out and watch them on Friday nights.
And with Garrett, like you mentioned, it's not just somebody that they pulled off the bench back there. He's been playing a lot. Last year, Zach Acuff, the starting quarterback, had some injury time, so Garrett's inserted in there. So he's had some reps, and that's paying off now in 2020. Let's keep going down the scoreboard. Pigeon Forge wins tonight 35-0. Scott Meadows 4-2 now down there at Pigeon Forge. That's a tough place to win.
Yeah, and he's done a good job at a lot of different places. I mean, this is a veteran coach, and he's getting this program going in the right direction.
Morristown East 54-23 win. Wow, over Sevier County. That's a big time statement win for Morristown East. Fulton gets another win. They're 24-6 over Clinton. They move to 3-4, starting to put themselves in position in that region to get a playoff berth. Sweetwater wins 49-0 over Polk County, and I'm going to scroll all the way down on this Coach T scoreboard into Division II. 59-48 Chattanooga Christian over Grace Christian of Knoxville. And is that it? I don't see any Webb, no CAK. I think that might be it tonight.
Yeah.
3 weeks left in the regular season. Week 9 coming up, and we've mentioned the Beard and Farragut game. Soon we'll be able to see Maryville, McMinn County, Alcoa, Dobbins-Bennett. A lot of marquee matchups still to be played this year.
Yeah, and let's not forget Division II, Single A, Double A, and Triple A have some big games coming up as well. We've got a lot of teams jam-packed in there. Catholic's really going to be fighting for a playoff berth here. There's a lot of teams there at the bottom trying to get back into it. We saw Baylor lose tonight. I know this is not Knoxville, but Baylor losing to Father Ryan. This is going to be really hard here trying to get in the playoffs. We talked about Grace. We've talked about Webb School of Knoxville. We've talked about Chattanooga Christian and now Grace Christian. It's getting really tight in there, and this is what you don't want in Knoxville. Mm-hmm. You don't want to have to travel to Nashville because Nashville is really good at the top in both AA and AAA. And if you're a Knoxville team, you want to be able to stay at home for those first couple of rounds.
I believe the Thursday game next week is Baylor at Catholic, so a big-time matchup there for the Fighting Irish. They need a win in a major, major way. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. Again, as we get into the winter weeks and the deep fall weeks and you start turning on that heater, if you're having heating problems, give John H. Coleman a call. I know Kevin uses them. I use them. A great, great company that's been here for a long, long time, and you can't succeed as a company that long if you're not doing things right.
Yeah, and I love they're a local business. So, I mean, they 90% of their business is from referrals and word of mouth, and they're a local company and they're going to do a good job because if they don't do a good job, they know they're going to be out of business. And I love supporting these local businesses who do such a good job that word of mouth continues to bring them more business.
All right, that's Kevin Smith. I'm Jesse Smithy. Thanks again so much for watching 5 Star Live. We'll catch you next week in Week 9.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at RockyTopHomeInfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
The great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at RockyTopHomeInfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.